Good morning, it's me, your British lad. Compared to some of the more recent updates, the wild update is a little bit different. We haven't seen any official snapshots quite yet, but it feels like we've seen a lot of the stuff inside of the update. Of course, we've talked a lot about the things that we have seen so far, like the frog and the warden, but what about the things that we haven't seen? Here is everything missing from the wild update right now, and a little bit about those things. Remember, it's must leave like March, so you know what that means. I don't make the rules, it is what it is. If you're new, subscribe, notification gang, best gang, enjoy the video. Coming in first today, we have the Firefly, the wonderful, the mysterious Firefly. Fireflies will come to the game in 1.19, and it seems like they're going to be all about the vibes, super atmospheric. Now, when the Firefly was first shown off at Minecraft Live, it was tiny. If the Firefly makes it into the game, how it looked like at Minecraft Live, it will have the record of smallest mob in the entire game, total of 2 pixels. Now, the Firefly's original plan was frog light. The frog would eat the Firefly, you get a frog light, but then at February's Minecraft Now, it was revealed that, yeah, that's actually kind of poisonous for the frog, so that's not the plan anymore. What will the Firefly do in 1.19? Well, now it's completely unclear. The developers have since told us absolutely nothing else about the Firefly. We have no clue what it's actually going to do once it makes it into the game in 1.19, but it's hopefully going to look good at least, so there's that. Mud. Mud is a type of block that will finally be coming to the game in the 1.19 Wild Update. I feel like practically as long as I've been playing this game, people have been asking for mud. I mean, pretty simple concept after all. Watery dirt. Yeah, doesn't get any more simple than that. Mud. Mud will finally make it into the game in this update. You'll be able to find mud generating around your world in the 1.19 update in at least the mangrove swamp biome, but who knows, maybe they'll put it in other spots too. But it won't stop at world generation. You'll be able to craft mud by combining water and dirt somehow, whether it's in a crafting table or in the actual world. It's still a little bit unclear, but you will be able to craft this stuff as well. And that's good, because it's going to be useful. One of the more simple mechanics that I'm really excited about in 1.19 is the whole mud draining thing. So it's pretty cool. You take a mud block, you place a dripstone block below it, pointed dripstone, and then eventually the mud block will actually dry out and turn to clay. Basically, the water is leaving the mud, and now that I think about it, shouldn't that make dirt? Well, anyways, the mud dries out and it turns to clay, and that's amazing. I mean, if you have a villager farm, it's not the best thing in the world, but it is a thing, and it's more farms. We love to see it. And you know what, now that I think about it, Minecraft Live, didn't they show us putting the water bottle on the dirt block? Aha! That's what they showed us. Maybe it'll work like that. Draining mud and turning it to clay isn't the only use for the mud block though. In 1.19, you'll be able to take the mud block and somehow craft it into mud bricks, whether it's inside of the crafting table or a furnace. That part is a little bit unknown, but mud bricks. Mud bricks, they're such an interesting looking concept. It's like a brown toned brick block that's gonna work so good with like literally all of the wood types in the game. Stone, like basically anything to be honest. Mud bricks. Really excited about these things too. To be honest, when it comes to mud bricks, there really isn't too much else to say about them, and I mean, it's a pretty straightforward concept, bricks that are mud. When it comes to the block family, I believe it's pretty unknown if there will be staircases and slabs, but we do know for sure that there will at least be a solid block, of course, so at least there's that. This next one is a quick one. So relatively recently, there was a Deep Dark experimental snapshot released with the warden. Right now, inside of that snapshot, cheesing the warden, or basically like cheating your way away from this thing, it's insanely simple. That's a problem. Like, check this out. Literally, all I had to do was pillar 3 blocks up, and I'm good. And actually, 3 blocks isn't even the case. You can actually pillar 2 blocks up, and you should be safe from the warden. That's kind of insane, and definitely not the point. It has been stated more than one time by the developers that the things inside of the experimental Deep Dark snapshot are experimental. Like, that's the point of the thing. They're going to change. Well, one thing that will definitely be changing by the time the update releases is the warden, at least a little bit. It's going to get trickier to deal with. The saplings are a pretty simple concept. I mean, you have small plant on the ground, give it a little bit of time or a little bit of fuel, and then you end up with big plant on the ground. That's how it worked for the longest time, pretty much unchanged, until eventually big trees were added to the game. When big trees were added to the game, you had a little bit of a sapling shakeup. Now you could put 4 saplings next to each other, same thing, space or time or whatever, and then you end up with a big tree. In 1.19, sapling shakeup 3.0 is taking place because of propagules. Propagules will be making it into the game in the 1.19 update. Now, propagules are a pretty big deal because, well, a couple reasons. First off, the tree that they're going to grow. The tree that they're going to grow is going to be completely different. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But then also where they grow. You can plant these saplings on the land, just like I did there. Or you can plant these saplings inside of the water. This is going to be the first tree in the entire game that you can plant in the water and actually grow. So I guess this one is a little bit of a 2-in-1, if you will. You have the propagule, which is completely game-changing, revolutionary even, and then you have the mangrove tree. So check this out. Oak saplings in the water. Clearly, it's not working very well. Mangrove sapling in the water, not a problem at all. Or propagule, bone meal the thing, and there we go. We have another big tree. Now, these big mangrove trees are not only going to be insanely unique looking, it seems, from what we've seen of them, but they're also going to come with some new blocks here. So we have a brand new leaf type. This is inside of a mod. It might not exactly look like this texture, but I mean, of course, you know what they say. When there is a brand new type of tree, there is always consistently a brand new type of leaf, or maybe even two propagules and leaves. Also, roots. We're going to have a brand new root block coming with this tree as well because of the shape of this thing. So the mangrove tree, clearly, as you can see here, there's like an interesting root thing going on that does not happen with any of the other trees. This is a big deal. The root block. The addition of the root block to this tree alongside all of the different shapes is going to mean you're going to have a lot of diversity when it comes to this tree. Like so many different shapes of this thing, which is going to make the mangrove swamp biome even more complex and interesting looking. Now, in more recent weeks, we got a little teaser from Jappa on Twitter of this mangrove trees, and it looked like these root blocks were actually mixing with the water, so you could waterlog them, as well as the mud blocks that we talked about a little while ago. So, mud roots, water roots. Apparently, that's going to be a thing too. At least that's what it looks like. Take pretty much all those things that we just talked about, mud, mangrove trees, the blocks that come with them, the fireflies even, slap them inside of the world, and you have an insanely advanced and cool-sounding biome, the mangrove swamp biome. In 1.19, we'll get the addition of a brand new biome to the game. At least that's how it looks. It seems like with the swamp update that the developers will be taking on, the old swamp is going to remain in the game relatively the same. At the same time, the old swamp biome being slightly revamped and improved, we're going to find a brand new swamp biome inside of the world as well that is like a million times better. The mangrove swamp. So mangrove swamp, of course, that means mangrove trees all over the thing. Most likely, frogs will be spawning here too. We're going to have propagules growing on these trees. Mud is going to be all over the ground as well, which is going to make this place insanely different feeling. Like, compared to everything in the game right now, nothing like it. Back to that video that I just mentioned from Jappa on Twitter a few weeks ago. Right now, the biome looks relatively empty with just mud and trees. It looked like Jappa was trying to fill it up, though, with something, so hopefully that could mean like another new plant or something like that. Could be cool. But mangrove swamp, it's going to be exciting. Now there's a big elephant in the room. One thing that I haven't been talking about here, mangrove wood, mangrove logs, mangrove wood will be making it to the game in 1.19. Oh boy, this is finally a new type of wood. A new type of wood. We have a new type of tree, and this time for real, a new type of wood. Confirmed, 100%. No take backs. I'm so excited about this. Know when this wood was first, and we had the Minecraft Live. Of course, exciting. Brand new type of wood. If you're a builder, that's huge. There's so many more possibilities. An entire new wood set. Amazing. Really, really good. However, at the same time, when it was first shown off, it kind of looked like Junglewood 2.0, to be honest. Like, Junglewood, very similar in tone, but like a little bit different, maybe. However, since then, big news. Based off of some of the teasers that we've gotten from the developers, it seems like mangrove wood has become a whole lot more red, which, oh my gosh, more red wood, like more red than this right here. That's going to be huge. A red wood would be so nice. That's something that I personally have wanted in the game for so long. Red wood, mangrove, amazing. I can't believe it, really. It's always the ones you don't suspect. Maybe I'm a monster. I can't believe I haven't talked about this thing until this moment right here. Chessboat at long last. My lost love from ages ago now. Chessboat will actually be making it into the game in the wild update too. I'm smiling. This is great. This is a great moment that I personally have been waiting for immensely and sadly since the swamp loss of whatever year that was. Chessboat. I don't think I've ever been as excited for a boat with a chest in it as I am in this exact moment right here. I mean, it's, of course, first off, a boat, so, you know, you can move around and sail, and keep in mind that traveling your worlds in 1.18, it got, like, way more efficient. The rivers are way better, so you have that. Then you combine it with, like, storage, so it's movable, transportable storage that you can move around, like, efficiently into. You jump in the boat with the chest, and you sail around your world early game. Movable storage. Like, you can explore your world, raid the outpost that was... It was somewhere over here. Raid the outpost, drop all of the things inside of the chessboat, and just keep sailing through the rivers that actually work now. Chessboat. I don't need to say anything else about it. Chessboat is so amazing. For our next up today, let's go back to that experimental Deep Dark snapshot. So, of course, we were just talking about the warden being easy to deal with. Well, also kind of related to that, there is the whole loot situation, we'll call it. So there is, of course, a brand new enchantment, which is really cool. But in terms of like an enticement to actually go to the deep dark ancient city, other than maybe collecting the skulk blocks, which you could just do that in the biome, there's no real true good reason. Based off of comments made by the developers, it looks like the loot inside the ancient city will be changing by the time the update actually releases, which is an amazing thing. Alright, so before we talk about our final one, which admittedly isn't fully confirmed, let's talk about another thing that admittedly also isn't fully confirmed, but it looks like it's going to actually make it into the update. We'll call this an honorable mention of sorts. So we have the bundle, we have the goat, both originally Caves and Cliffs features that ended up getting cut. Earlier this year, the community found some bundle references inside of the Bedrock betas. That makes it look like the bundle might make it into the update. Also earlier this year, inside of the betas, some changes were made to the goat horn. That also makes it look like the goat horn might be in the update. Bundles, goat horns making it into 1.19, it's definitely a possibility and it kind of looks like that's going to happen, but it hasn't technically been confirmed. So there's that. Last but definitely not least, take a look at this boring biome right here, the old growth birch forest. Now, I will give this biome a little bit of credit. The old growth birch forest does look better than the plain old birch forest, but both are plain, like really boring. At Minecraft Live, this amazing birch forest concept art was shown off. The concept art looks so good. Imagine a birch forest where this is the reality. Well, good news, 1.19 might be that reality. At Minecraft Live, the birch forest concept art was shown off and then nothing else was really mentioned of it. So is it in the wild update? Is it not? I guess it's kind of like those last ones, a little bit of a mystery. However, it should be noted the developers haven't really denied anything when it comes to a birch forest update, at least not that I've seen. So I think it's safe to say that it's not entirely off the table quite yet. Maybe in 1.19 we'll see a swamp update and a birch forest update too. And that would be amazing. Confirmed wild update features that we haven't seen in either the betas or the snapshots quite yet. Those are, I'm pretty sure, all of them, unless I missed one. If I missed one, drop that down in the comments below, and if I didn't miss one, or if I did, leave a like on this video. If you're new around here and wild update content is your vibe, definitely subscribe because I have more of that on the way every single week. Patron gang, big thank you, Archangel, Ground Crazy May, Lord Zenera, and Hush Sound 34. I appreciate the support, big time. My links are in the description, another video on the end card. Check it out. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been me, your lad. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.